Lake Anna, Virginia, an hour away from the campus of the University of Virginia, also home to the club sailing team at UVA. Starting over 50 years ago, people with a passion for sailing came together to start a club here at Virginia.
Club sailing is one of the oldest club sports at the university. We've been here since 1969 when a group of ROTC Navy guys went out to Lake Monticello and started sailing some boats around. And we've been here ever since. Now we practice out at Lake Anna at Pleasance Landing, right next to the nuclear power plant. We've got about 8 boats out there.
Sailing might not be well known as a sport to most UVA students, but sailing has been among the most popular tourism activities in the U.S. for a long time. Even today, sailing is now and has been an Olympic sport since 1900. While sailing is not considered an official NCAA sport, there are plenty of people that have been sailing throughout their lives.
I've always grown up in a sailing household. My dad sails, my grandfather sails, and I've been sailing my whole life. My dad went to UVA in the 90s and he was on the sailing team, and so when I came here I knew they had a club and I planned to join. I don't think I remember my first time sailing because I've been sailing since I was a baby, but the first memory I have, we were a bunch of little kids in boats getting pushed around in circles without sails because we couldn't sail yet, and eventually they gave us sails and we got to go sailing.
Well, I've been sailing since I was about 12. My parents brought me into it and I've been racing and going out on the water to enjoy myself ever since.
Several times a year, the club sailing team gets the opportunity to compete in regattas with other schools along the East Coast. In a regatta, a fleet will sail around a course marked with buoys a certain number of times. They are scored by placement, with the winner earning 1 point, second place 2 points, and so on. The lowest combined score wins the regatta. Traveling as much as 8 hours at a given time, club sailing competes nearly every weekend, representing one of the best club teams on the East Coast.
We sail competitively against varsity teams up and down the East Coast and nationally. We usually do about 8 regattas each semester, and we'll travel up and down the East Coast. We go up to Navy and we'll go up to New York a couple times, and we actually went down to North Carolina for the NC State regatta this last weekend.
They're intense, but they're fun too. You get to know the other schools pretty well, and you kind of have friends on the road you meet. But on the water, it's pretty intense. You're battling it out to win the race.
Club sailing boasts a wide range of members, from beginners who are only just learning how to sail to experienced sailors who have navigated the water for as long as they can remember. Whether you enjoy spending time on the water or have a hunger for competing at a higher level, you have a place in the club.
We have a social side, a learn to sail side, and a racing side, and so we're pretty diverse. There's definitely a bunch of people that are pretty experienced sailors and have done it for a long time, and then there are also people who have never sailed before, and so you kind of get to meet all sorts of people through the club.
We have a welcome week every fall and every spring, and other than that, you can join anytime during the year. If you go on our website, virginiasailing.com, we have a link to join, and we love to have people join anytime during the year.
In the future, club sailing plans to continue to grow the club while also competing more and more with varsity teams around the country.
We have a lot of goals. We just succeeded in building a new dock, which we're really excited about. That's been a years-long process. And now we're sort of looking forward to the future. We want to build out our racing team and be able to compete more effectively against these varsity teams. And also we want to build out our alumni network to reconnect with alumni that we've lost contact with. And we want to continue to grow the social teams so that we can bring more people into sailing.
Finally, although there are benefits to becoming a varsity sport, club sailing at UVA finds just as much joy being a club sport now and in the future.
We're one of the best club teams on the East Coast, and the varsity teams that have a coach and a serious budget and sometimes have recruiting slots they practice a lot more than us, but we do compete against them and beat them at some events. We've been talking to Princeton and NC State that are currently trying to become varsity teams, but there are a lot of trade-offs to it. When you go from a club sport to a varsity team, you lose the ability to have a social team, and you have a lot more regulations and costs. So we like where we are.